Okay, all right. So I'm gonna pick up where I left off. Start talking about our challenging jurisdiction, and one of the early activities that we have to start engaging in is communicating with our local state government, the governor's office, the legislative body, both the Senate and the House of your uh, respective states that you're living in, and the Attorney General for your state. These are very simple letters. I'll have them all pre-written for people on this site that we're building. But the letter that's going to your governor, well, I'll start with the one that's going to the legislative body. And basically just ask very specifically a simple question of please advise us as the de jure citizens of the state of uh, the authority that you used to remove common law from the geographical area known as whatever your state is. That's it. We send a letter, one of those, to every single legislative member in your state. You send one then also to your Attorney General office stating that, dear Mr. Attorney General, it appears that there are state courts, whatever your name of your state is, that are operating using admiralty and maritime jurisdiction. So please show us the authority that is granted to the state courts of your state to operate in admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, because admiralty and maritime jurisdiction is exclusively designated for use by the United States government, period. There's some Supreme Court holdings that we can attach with that state that very specifically. And then our question then goes to the governor. It's a combination of those two things of Mr. Governor as the executor. The executive branch, your duties and obligations happen to be enforcement of law, enforcement of the Constitution, both of the United States of America and also the state of. So we'd like you to start investigating these two questions that we've now posed to the legislative branch and the judicial branch, per se. Now, the Attorney General is kind of sort of the executive branch. I don't know, they've got it so messed up. But anyways, those two particular questions. Number one, why is admiralty and maritime being used in state level courts? And on what authority, what permission did the legislative body deem it was okay to remove common law from the citizens? I don't have access to that any longer, and I want to know on what authority you guys did that. The problem for them becomes is they don't have any answers. They don't have permission to remove common law. They don't have permission to use admiralty maritime. They don't have permission to create a legislative, administrative, statutory jurisdiction that applies to anyone but their own people, a true officer, a true employee, agent, or someone acting custodial capacity, state level. They don't have the authority to create a non-constitutional jurisdiction that they then attach to me without engaging in treason. Attacking the Constitution for the United States of America and its validity, and attacking the Constitution for your state. Because if you look at your state's Constitution, it will lay out the three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial branch. And if you look in the judicial branch, you'll see they don't have authority, permission. They aren't given anything but outlaw and equity. So those are the two simple questions, and it becomes very simple. We just mail those letters. Wait and see what they send back. Okay? Part of the process we have to go through to ask these questions because maybe they have an answer that we don't know, that we don't quite understand what they've done. Maybe they'll admit to us that they were conquered by the United States of America and the United States as political subdivisions or new territorial uh, agencies under conquest. We don't know, but that would be the only other option that they could possibly utilize, conquest, or trying to do things under this territorial jurisdiction of the federal government, and then claiming that everybody is one of their people. You have a social security number, you use Federal Reserve note, you have a bank account, you're one of our people. You're subject to now the rules, regulations, laws of the District of Columbia and our territories. And according to us, our interpretation of that Constitution of the United States and the territories, we can do whatever the fuck we want as long as it's not specifically prohibited by the Constitution. Huh? Pretty sure the Constitution doesn't say anything about, oh, I don't know, torture. So you guys can torture people. That's what you do, what you've done. Doesn't say anything about not murdering people. Huh? That's the most incredibly asinine reasoning. Territories, so the Constitution doesn't apply. They did that in the insular cases way back in the day when they got a couple islands from Spain. They said, oh, well, the Constitution didn't apply to it there. They use that same reasoning. Well, here, my organic state of Utah, the Republic of State of Utah, the geographical longitude and latitudinally designated space on planet Earth, the dirt, Constitution has been applied to it. And your United States Supreme Court has stated specifically that once the Constitution has been applied to a geographical area, it may not, cannot be removed. Period. You guys think that you can just write this such nonsensical legalese people can't understand it and deny me access to common law, access to the Constitution of the United States? Huh? Very thing in your own Constitution you claim gives you authority. Your own Constitution says that you're bound to that federal Constitution, doesn't it? You don't have permission to do most of the things that you're doing. Now, I know most people don't think it's a big deal. Most people think I'm just, I don't know what they think. It is a big deal. You think that these incidences of your highly militarized police forces with all their high-tech surveillance equipment, communications equipment, do you really think that they accidentally kicked in the door of the wrong house? Huh? Seriously? Pretty sure they're doing what they always do. They do those things to anesthetize the public, get you used to it, desensitize you. Because I can guarantee you at some point, if you people don't stand up and help me, the secret police you hear about over in Egypt, Libya, Syria, they're going to be the same things to you here. What you think is the land of the free. You don't think that's not what's coming? You don't think that's what they have planned for you? Huh? You have an opportunity, at least this time, to ask some questions. These are huge, egregious violations. These aren't simple little misunderstandings. We don't have very much time left that we can even ask these questions. They don't even respond to us now. Okay? But we might be able to, if we can get organized just a little bit, at least ask some of these simple questions that shouldn't be too intimidating for us as citizens to be asking. Why is it that you've done what you've done? Where's the authority? And on what authority do you think that you can lie to me? My kids can't lie to me. I can't lie to you in court, can I? I can't lie anywhere. And you can't either. In fact, you have an indispensable obligation placed on you by nature, just like I do. And in fact, it is codified as constitutional law for you, Mr. Government individual, claiming that you don't have to tell me the truth. National security. No, it's only your security you guys are concerned about, certainly not mine. Huh? But in your book, Law of Nations, the preliminaries, talks about the fact that an individual is bound by the law of nature to deal honorably and truly with other individuals, whether the precise acts required of him be or be not such as their own municipal law will enforce. Okay? Now, you're an individual, I'm an individual. You have a duty to me, especially because you're in a position of authority, to tell me the truth about what's going on, what you've done. Why it is you think you can continue to strip away protections, that document, that founding document, the very thing that gives you even authority to act at all. Now, I understand what's so hard for people in my community to understand about those simple questions. Write a simple letter. I'll write it for you if you anyway you even have the courage to mail it. And I understand. They've terrorized us. They have. They've lied to us, manipulated us, murdered us. I hold some law enforcement people personally responsible for the death of one of my sons. Now, I'm not being vindictive. I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in destruction of society. I believe in the rule of law. I'm making it my life's mission, what little bit of time I have left, to bring that back and bring those people to justice, to answer for their crimes against me, my family, you, your family, against society, against the very Constitution they claim gives them authority. They have a duty to defend, that they have engaged in open war against. They have attacked the Constitution of the state. That is a violation of constitutional law, laws of nature. They could pretend to have authority, knowing full well that they have stripped away the constitutional protections that you and I pretend that we have, and doing it through deception, through fraud, through violence, through force. So, I think it's only fair we could ask those two questions. What authority authorized you to remove common law? And what authority authorized you to operate your courts using admiralty and maritime jurisdictions which were reserved specifically for the United States government? So, till next time, okay? Like I said, I'm going to be writing these things up, putting this stuff together in my book, building a little web page where people can start to come get this information. People, you got to get this book, Law of Nations, and read it. It explains everything. Okay? Your government here in the United States of America is a criminal enterprise, period. Okay? They don't like people like me. They've done well, whatever, I'm getting all that stuff, okay? Fortunately for me, I only have a limited amount of time left here to do what I can. And mostly just asking questions. And if you are so afraid that you can't ask a question of your elected officials, then I'm pretty sure you don't live in the land of the free, do you? So, I'll talk to everybody soon. Love you guys. And hey, start asking some questions, some real questions.